Sunday morning, right around 6 a.m. in the morning. Gonna go for a long run today, shooting for 20 miles. It's gonna be 4 laps around the loop around here. We'll see if I could do it. My goal is do it without as few or 0 stops as possible. No stopping for photos, no stopping for water. So I tried to pack all the water and food that I might need. But we'll see. This is the longest I've run since the marathon last year. Last lap, 15.75 miles in, shooting for 20 today. Oh, 20.1 miles. 8 minutes, 45 seconds per mile. I've still got like a mile to walk back home, but I just wanted to hit the 20 mile mark for today. That gives me 20 uninterrupted, unsupported miles. It's amazing for me. And I was able to get 30 miles on the weekend. I hit my 50 miles for the week, continuing my 50 mile per week run streak. Man, I'm exhausted. The part about marathon training that I'm most concerned about, I'm not concerned about having enough miles, although I guess for competitive runners I'm not nearly running enough, but for non-elite runners I think I'm at the right spot. That I don't have a problem with, but it's these long and uninterrupted runs that are hard, mostly because of the filming that I do. I stop frequently to take photos and take videos, but mainly because of just the way that I run. I've never been able to run extremely long distances uninterrupted, and so there's a physical and probably a more difficult mental barrier for me to overcome. Today was really important for me to be able to hit that 20 mile mark. Not because the streak was one thing, getting a big weekend of running is another. Those things I can live without, but mentally I haven't had a really good unsupported 20 mile run before. This is my first one, and it means a lot that I could have done it on a week that was tough, a week where I didn't like taper or prepare for this long of a run. I pretty much woke up ate like a couple chocolate chip cookies that my mother-in-law made and headed out, filling out my vest with a couple of gels and 1 bottle of water. So feeling good about that. The temperature started out in the probably mid to high 60s, although very humid, but overall pretty comfortable temperature to run in. So I'm feeling really strong, really good about today. But man, my feet are soaked. All the sweat is pooling in my shoes, and my feet are killing me. Not in a bad way, in a way that your feet should feel after 20 miles. But otherwise, feeling very proud of myself that I was able to get this done today. And you know, on the one hand, yeah, I definitely hit the wall today around mile 19 to mile 19.2. I just wanted to stop right there. And you know, I was thinking about this run and how it was going relatively well and how strong it made me feel. And then once I hit that wall, mentally, my mind took a turn. And all I could think about was, how are you gonna run? My goal for today was to run today's miles at about 9 minutes per mile. I came in a little bit underneath that. But I was thinking, my mind just started wandering and drifting. If I can't run 8-minute miles when I'm running 20, how am I gonna run 8-minute miles when I'm running 26? If I'm feeling this bad at mile 19, how am I going to push through 26.2? Like, my mind just got real dark, real negative. And for me, that's what the wall really is. It's all the doubt, if you feel like this, how can you possibly do that? Like all that. I don't know how to get through it, but that just came washing over me for the last 3/4 of a mile, and it almost became unbearable. So that's something that I got to work on. Days like this definitely help, and I want to do more like this. And so I think for more of my long runs from now on, I'm not going to bring the phone. I didn't bring the phone with me. I didn't bring earbuds, so I'm going to not do that. So that way I can have more practice at listening to that dark voice, letting it say what it has to say until it wears itself out, kind of like a temper tantrum. So I gotta let that play out, but you can't get there, not for me anyway, until I hit that wall. And so I either have to have 3-hour runs like today, or some of my shorter or long run, like 15 miles, 10 miles, have to simulate the feeling of being at mile 19. And so I think a lot more of my runs are gonna have some fewer iPhone shots, so I hope you'll forgive me for that. But I'm gonna mix in some tempo, so that way I can simulate the fatigue without having to run 3 hours, but to have the fatigue of 3 hours. So I could let that dog bark for a little while until it tires itself out. So I have it in there, I think. I just gotta let it break through that wall. And that's the hardest thing that I've got going for me right now. Now I've gotta walk the rest of the way back. Probably got about another 3/4 of a mile left to walk, but that'll be a nice cool down for me. And then I'm gonna drink a ton of water.
Yo, what's going on?